What if memory loss does not begin with forgetting names? What if it begins quietly, silently, so slowly, that no one notices it happening at all? Most people believe dementia starts suddenly. One day, someone forgets a face, repeats the same story, or asks the same question again and again. But that belief is wrong. Dementia does not arrive like a storm. It arrives like a shadow, stretching slowly across the brain, long before anyone realizes the light is fading. Right now, as you are watching this video, there are millions of people living their normal lives, working, driving, laughing, planning for the future, without knowing that changes have already begun inside their brain. And that is the most frightening part. Because dementia does not start with confusion. It starts with silence. It starts years before a diagnosis, years before concern, years before anyone says, something doesn't feel right. Families often say, we never saw it coming. But the truth is, it was coming. Slowly, patiently, quietly. Imagine this for a moment. Imagine a clock ticking in the background, so soft, so faint, that no one hears it. That ticking is dementia. By the time the sound becomes loud enough to notice, time has already passed. And here is something most people do not want to hear. By the time dementia becomes obvious, the brain may already be permanently damaged. This is why families feel shocked, overwhelmed, and unprepared. They are not weak. They are not careless. They simply never knew what to look for. Dementia is not one moment. It is not one memory loss. It is not one bad day. It is a long journey, a gradual decline that moves through 7 very specific stages. 7 stages that change how a person thinks, how they feel, how they behave, and how they live. Some stages look harmless. They feel normal. They feel like aging. Some stages feel confusing, uncertain, and emotionally draining. And some stages are so difficult that families say, this is the hardest thing we have ever faced. In this video, you are going to learn all 7 stages of dementia, clearly, slowly, and honestly, from the stage where nothing seems wrong at all, to the stage where speech fades, movement disappears, and recognition may be lost. This is not a video to scare you, but it is a video to wake you up. Because understanding dementia early changes everything. It changes how families respond, how caregivers cope, and how loved ones are treated. When people understand what is happening, they stop blaming, they stop arguing, and they start responding with compassion. And there is one stage, one specific stage, where families almost always say, if only we had known sooner. That stage is coming later in this video. So stay with me, listen carefully, and allow yourself to understand what dementia really is. Because knowledge does not remove pain, but it does remove regret. And when it comes to dementia, regret is one of the heaviest burdens a family can carry. Can dementia really exist, even when memory feels completely normal? Stage 1 is called no cognitive decline. And this stage is the most misunderstood, the most ignored, and the most dangerous of all. Why? Because nothing feels wrong. At this stage, memory works normally, thinking is clear, judgment is intact, and daily life continues without interruption. The person wakes up in the morning, remembers appointments, handles conversations, drives safely, manages money, and lives independently. From the outside, everything looks fine. Family members see no problem. Friends see no problem. Doctors see no problem. And the person themselves feels completely normal. There is no confusion, no forgetfulness, no warning signs. And yet, this is where dementia can already begin. Not in behavior, not in memory, but deep inside the brain. At this stage, changes may be happening at a microscopic level, long before symptoms ever appear. Brain cells may slowly start weakening. Connections between neurons may begin breaking down. But the brain compensates. It finds ways to hide the damage. This is why intelligence, education, and strong mental habits can delay symptoms. The brain works harder, fills in gaps, and protects daily functioning, so the person feels fine. Life feels normal. Nothing seems urgent. And this is exactly why stage 1 goes unnoticed. It can last for many years, sometimes even decades. No doctor visits are triggered. No lifestyle changes are made. No conversations happen. People assume, if something were wrong, I would know. But dementia does not work that way. It does not ask permission. It does not announce itself. It waits. And when symptoms finally appear, families often look back and say, there were no signs, but the signs were simply invisible. Stage 1 teaches us a difficult lesson. By the time dementia becomes visible, it has already been present for a long time. That is why awareness matters. When does aging stop being normal and start becoming something else? Stage 2 is known as very mild cognitive decline, often called age-associated memory impairment. This is the stage where memory changes begin, but they are so small, so inconsistent, that almost everyone ignores them. A name takes a little longer to remember. A familiar word sits on the tip of the tongue. Keys are misplaced. Glasses go missing. A thought disappears mid-sentence. These moments feel harmless. They come and go. Some days everything feels sharp. Other days feel slightly off. Friends and family usually notice nothing unusual. Doctors rarely find anything concerning. And because these changes come and go, people tell themselves, this is normal. This happens to everyone. I'm just tired today. And sometimes, they are right. Aging does affect memory. Stress affects focus. Lack of sleep affects recall. But this is where stage 2 becomes dangerous. Because for some people, these tiny changes are not just aging. They are the earliest signals of a changing brain. What makes this stage emotionally complicated is that the person often notices it first. They may feel slower mentally, less confident recalling information, or uneasy about forgetting things they never used to forget. They might not say anything out loud. They might hide it, laugh it off, or quietly worry. This stage creates inner doubt. Without external validation, no one else sees the problem, so the person questions themselves. They think, am I imagining this? Am I overreacting? Is this just age catching up to me? And so, nothing happens. No tests, no conversations, no changes. Life continues. But the brain, for some individuals, may already be struggling quietly. And here is the hardest truth. There is no clear line between normal aging and early decline. That uncertainty is what allows stage 2 to pass unnoticed. What happens when memory problems can no longer be explained away? When forgetfulness is no longer subtle? When others begin to notice it too? Stage 3 is called mild cognitive impairment, or MCI. This is often the stage where concern begins, and the first warning bells ring. At this stage, memory lapses become more frequent. Names are forgotten more often. Conversations are repeated. Plans are missed. Tasks take longer. And focus becomes difficult. The person may notice these changes and feel a growing sense of unease. Why am I forgetting things I never forgot before? Why do I feel slower than I used to? Am I losing my mind? These questions create anxiety, sometimes frustration, sometimes embarrassment. Friends and family may begin to notice too. You asked me that yesterday. You're asking the same question again. Didn't we talk about this already? Coworkers may notice changes at work. Appointments are missed. Deadlines are forgotten. Tasks are harder than they used to be. But the person may still function. With effort. With concentration. With conscious strategies to compensate. This stage is confusing. Because awareness still exists. The individual knows something is changing. But they don't understand the cause. And the fear of the unknown begins to creep in. It is the stage of inner conflict, where denial and acceptance exist side by side. Some people will remain in this stage for years, never progressing. Others may continue to early dementia, and this is exactly why early recognition is critical. Lifestyle changes, mental exercises, medical monitoring, and family awareness can make a meaningful difference at this point. Emotionally, this stage is challenging because the person may feel ashamed, defensive, or socially withdrawn. Family members may feel worried. They may argue. They may feel helpless. This is the stage where patience is essential, and understanding can make the difference between fear and support. It is a crossroads, a turning point, a moment where small interventions may create lasting impact. And this is why education matters, because the more you understand this stage, the more prepared you will be, the less guilt you will carry, and the more effective your support will become. When does memory loss stop being subtle and begin changing everyday life? Stage 4 marks the beginning of early dementia, sometimes called moderate cognitive decline. At this stage, memory problems are no longer occasional or inconsistent. They become clear, measurable, and persistent. People may start forgetting personal history. Events from years ago may blur. Recent experiences may fade rapidly. Tasks that once felt simple now require effort and planning. Complex thinking becomes overwhelming. Managing finances, paying bills, balancing a checkbook, handling work or household tasks all start to feel confusing, even impossible at times. People may avoid challenging activities because they feel anxious, frustrated, or unsure of themselves. They may repeatedly ask the same questions, or forget appointments, or lose track of conversations midway. Family and friends begin to notice. Concern grows, and patterns of forgetfulness become hard to ignore. Emotionally, this stage is heavy. The person may experience denial. Nothing is wrong with me. Anger, frustration, or anxiety may appear. They may withdraw socially, avoiding gatherings, avoiding conversation, or hiding mistakes. Family members may feel helpless, worried, or unsure how to respond. This is often the stage where a formal diagnosis becomes possible, and where awareness can change everything. Early diagnosis allows families to prepare emotionally, plan for care, implement support strategies, and understand that behaviors are symptoms, not choices. At this stage, independence begins to fade, but emotional awareness still exists. The person often knows something is wrong and experiences fear, guilt, or shame. This combination of memory decline and self-awareness is confusing because they may want to do tasks they cannot complete and may feel frustrated at themselves, while family members try to help. Education, patience, and compassion are critical here. This is the moment where understanding dementia becomes transformative, because when families know the stage, they can respond with empathy, not anger. They can support, not control. They can prepare, not panic. Stage 4 is difficult, but awareness and early action can create meaningful impact for the person and for their loved ones. And as we move to the next stage, things will become more challenging, and the need for care will increase. Can you imagine remembering the faces of your loved ones, but forgetting how to live on your own? Stage 5 is called moderately severe cognitive decline. This is the stage where independence begins to collapse, where daily life starts to demand constant support. At this stage, people may forget their home address, phone numbers, or important personal details. Time becomes confusing, days may blur together, and awareness of the current season or year may fade. Even routine tasks, like dressing appropriately, may become difficult. Someone might wear a heavy coat in summer, or forget how to tie shoes, or put socks on the wrong feet. Despite these challenges, many still recognize close family members. They can smile, laugh, and show emotion, but their abilities are clearly diminished. Daily life now requires assistance, help with bathing, dressing, eating, and mobility. Families often step in full-time, For the first time, emotionally, this stage is exhausting for everyone. The person may feel scared, frustrated, confused. Family members may feel overwhelmed, guilty, or helpless. This stage marks a turning point. It is the moment where dementia can no longer be ignored, and where caregiving becomes essential. Even small moments of recognition, a smile, a laugh, a familiar phrase, become precious because they remind us the person we love is still present, even as abilities fade. What if the person you love is still alive, but slowly disappearing before your eyes? Stage 6 is called severe cognitive decline. Memory loss deepens dramatically. People may no longer recognize spouses, children, or close family members. Confusion about surroundings becomes constant. Familiar places feel strange, and the world becomes unpredictable. Personality and behavior may change. Anxiety, agitation, paranoia, or aggression can appear, not because they want to act this way, but because the brain cannot interpret reality. Physical abilities decline. Assistance is now required for bathing, dressing, eating, and toileting. Loss of bladder or bowel control is common, and care becomes intensive and demanding. Families often experience a mix of heartbreak, guilt, and exhaustion. It is emotionally draining and physically challenging. Yet even in this stage, something remains. A gentle voice, a warm touch, a familiar song can awaken moments of connection. Even as recognition fades, emotional memory can survive. And this is where compassion becomes the most powerful tool. What remains? When memory, speech, and movement fade away. Stage 7 is the final and most severe stage of dementia. At this stage, individuals may lose the ability to speak. Words disappear slowly, then sentences, then speech entirely. Movement becomes limited. Walking, sitting, swallowing, even holding a spoon may be impossible. Full-time, round-the-clock care is required. Focus shifts from treatment to comfort, dignity, and quality of life. Although awareness may appear minimal, research and caregiver experience show that emotional connection still matters deeply. Familiar sounds, gentle touch, and emotional presence remain impactful. This stage is heartbreaking, but it also reminds us of what is truly human. Even when memory is gone, love, care, and presence still carry meaning. Can understanding dementia change how we experience it? Knowing the 7 stages does not stop the disease, but it changes everything about how families respond, how caregivers act, and how loved ones are supported. Understanding the stages allows families to recognize warning signs earlier, seek medical guidance sooner, and prepare emotionally and financially for what lies ahead. It replaces fear with clarity, confusion with compassion, and helplessness with preparation. Most importantly, it reminds caregivers that behaviors are not intentional. They are symptoms of a damaged brain. When families understand the stage, they respond differently, with more patience, more empathy, and less anger or blame. Education does not remove pain, but it reduces regret. And this is critical, because regret can haunt families for years. Long after a loved one has passed, dementia does not just affect memory. It affects identity, relationships, families, and the very sense of time itself. If this video helped you understand dementia even a little, take a moment to support this channel. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this knowledge today, not later. Your engagement spreads awareness, and awareness saves families from confusion, from helplessness, and from regret. If you are caring for someone, remember this: you are not failing. You are facing something incredibly difficult, and compassion matters more than perfection. Love, patience, and understanding remain more powerful than any treatment. Which stage do you believe needs the most awareness, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and help other families learn, so no one feels unprepared.